chime into what's happening with your favorite KFAN program. We'll make your voice heard on the Brad, Sean, Brian text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
Couple 13-14 pastime common He's 10 to be. Mark Rosen, the legendary one, is here as well. Have you ever received an invitation to a party that says RSVP clothing optional?
No.
The Timberwolves received an invitation from the New York Knickerbockers that said, please RSVP defense optional. They said, we're in. They gave up 85 points in the second half of the game.
I watched
you try, you know, me beating a dead horse. Yep. It seems like every single day for the past several years. And what's surprising to me is the Wolves actually was it 2 years ago they had the best defensive efficiency in the National Basketball Association? Last year, I think they were like sixth. This year, they've got to be near the bottom.
They are. I'm sure they are.
How do you, I mean...
it's a head shaker last night. I understand from an offensive standpoint, Anthony Edwards was kicking off the rust, and he played, he's okay, but that's not what lost the game for him. I mean, the defense, the Wolves led at the half by 4, which is nothing, of course, in the NBA, but the number of second chance points they gave up and defensive lapses from pretty much everybody up and down the lineup. As good as Randall was offensively, he had 32, playing against
and actually played some really solid.
He did. He's about the one that played defense, but I'm not switching my theme right now after 8 games of the season, but there are some concerning trends that you can't ignore with the Timberwolves right now. And I think a big part of it is someone's going to have to step up from what was a pretty solid bench last year. We've mentioned Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and I know they couldn't keep everybody because of the second apron and the money they're spending. But losing him in particular, Josh Minot, your guy who's playing with the Celtics, and my guy Luka Garza, the guys that they still have on the bench, Dillingham hasn't moved the needle just yet. Miller's young. Berenger just doesn't look like he's ready yet. Naz Reid, we have to cut him some slack right now. I don't know what he's still dealing with the depths of depression, and after losing, his sister was murdered, and he's trying to find his game. He just doesn't have his shot right now, and defensively, he was out of it when he's out of the game. But the guys that are Jaden McDaniels last night, who's known for his defense many, many times, was so lackadaisical a couple times. I just was head shaking. So and Gobert is, the team is much better when Gobert is on the court defensively. There's no way to interpret it anywhere else. But that was bad last night. It was like as if they just, I don't know what got into them. And then you can give the Knicks credit, but just out hustling them. But that, I don't know where the cavalry is going to come. That's my concern when I look at the other teams and look how they're using their bench. The Bones Highlands of the world, Jalen Clark can play defense. Conley, is going to give you everything he has at his advanced age, but they don't have a lot of oomph right now when you're playing, after your 5 starters. And it's up to them. I mean, again, they said all those things, and they're going to come back and they'll probably put a 20-point win on Utah tomorrow night at home.
I wouldn't count on that.
Well, I wouldn't count on it. You're probably right. But when they're playing right now, when they're playing the better teams, and the Knicks are one of the better teams, they were also in a conference final last year. They haven't played well against those teams yet. And again, I understand Edwards was out for 4 games. They'll, I'm sure, get better. DiVincenzo looks better, especially shooting the ball. But I don't like their defensive approach. I don't know what Tim Connolly has in mind as far as trying to improve this team, but I don't see how they've replaced any of those guys. Alexander Walker, Minot, Luka Garza played sparingly last year too, but he gave you a big body that, was not afraid to kind of, mix it up a little bit. It's up to the guys on this team right now just to start playing better defense. That was embarrassing last night. There's no other way two ways to put it. Not that the Knicks shot lights out, but the second chance points and just standing around, watching them drive the lane.
Well, they had 3 players in double figures in the third quarter.
Yeah.
They gave up 45 and 40, or was it 40 and 45? One of the two. They gave up 85 points in the second half.
Right.
85 points in the second half.
40 and 43 they gave up.
40 and 43. Now, I didn't watch any of it, but did the Wolves just inbound the ball to the Knickerbockers then when they had their possessions? Because that's the only way you can score that many points, isn't it?
You would think so. But again, a lot of it, I don't know how many, as they say, second chance points they got, but it seemed like every time the Knicks missed a shot, which wasn't all that often, they were hustling and getting the offensive rebound and either kicking it back out to Brunson for a shot or laying it in for a layup. And the Wolves were caught flat-footed time and time again. And it just all added up to a one-sided loss.
Well, let me ask you a question about the Dillingham kid. And I know it's still early, right? Mm-hmm. This is his second year in the league, right?
He's only 20, I think.
He didn't get a ton of playing time last year, but he did see the court often. I think Conley moved up in the draft to get him at number 8, and that leads me to believe, and when it comes to the NBA, I'm a casual. Just ask baby brother Pete. When it comes to basketball, maybe all sports, I'm a casual, but basketball certainly. But I think he was being drafted as the heir apparent to Mike Conley, and again, it is early, but he's offensively, he's really not contributing that much. Defensively, he's not contributing that much. I mean, again, it's still early, but it's a little bit, it's something to keep an eye on. It's a little concerning because a lot of these rookies will make a big impact right away. They come into the league, and especially if you're the 8th pick overall, you kind of think, you could maybe
make an impact.
Make a bigger impact than you have so far.
I don't think Finch trusts him a lot right now. And I think that's why you see Jalen Clark normally playing more minutes and playing. They matched Clark up last night against Brunson, and he plays hard on defense all the time. He's not going to score a lot. And Dillingham, was brought in, and we think he's going to make kind of more of a quantum leap. And maybe he still will as the season progresses. To kind of flash inside, break down defenses, if not being able to score, then at least be able to dish it off to Randall or Edwards or something, to kind of mix it up. But right now that point guard position is problematic, I think, going forward, because DiVincenzo's not a ball handler by nature. Edwards is a shooting guard. He does control the ball a lot. But that seems to be the mixing and matching of this team and how Finch is using his bench and what he has available. Unless Naz Reid finds his rhythm in a hurry and becomes the Naz Reid that was 6th man of the year in the NBA a couple of years ago. I mean, Bones Highland is those guys are a dime a dozen in the NBA. The Bones Highlands of the world. And
that was another guy that Conley drafted when he was with Denver, right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, he's a player.
I think he liked Bones.
Yeah, I think he did. And, he can certainly score, but at times, but he's not going to, again, it's what Finch trusts, and we thought we were going to see him expand his bench a little bit more. And again, we're 8 games into this thing, but something has to change, I think, internally. I mean, again, you've said it 1,000 times. You hear this kind of the reasons after the game, and we're playing the sometimes defense, and I'm going, well, you're playing in Madison Square Garden, you're playing against the Knicks, you're playing against your old homie Karl Anthony Towns, who's waxing poetic about his longing for his days almost for playing for the Timberwolves after the game, and you lay an egg like that in the second half. That's just and if you watch, I know you didn't get a chance to see the game, but man, it was.
Well, I had a chance.
Well, you did. You just chose not to. It probably made it. Well, the Wolves were watching the second half too. So
mail carrier guy sent a text that says, "Shocker, you didn't watch the game." And then I texted him back just now. I said, "Did you? That's a waste of time." I mean, I made the right choice. Why would anybody want to watch it?
Well, after the first half,
here's what's crazy. You'll love this. This is a true story.
Okay.
My wife and I finished dinner. I turn on the Timberwolves game. She goes, "Is this the first game of the season?" I go, "No, it's about 5 or 6. Uh-huh. She said, "Is it a big game?" I go, "No, I just decided to turn on." She goes, "You're not surprised I'm asking, are you? Because we generally don't watch the Timberwolves in our household. I just don't, but I thought I wanted to watch Bodega Cat."
Yeah, that's what you mentioned. Yeah.
And I fell asleep halfway through the first quarter, and it doesn't sound like I missed much.
Well, again, it was promising at halftime, and then the second half happened. And when you give up those numbers of points, I think that's the most points the Wolves have given up. I don't know how long. I mean, 137 total, but especially in the second half, 83 points. That's just, sorry, it wasn't like the Knicks shot lights out. I was going to stay up and watch. I watched some of it, but I didn't stay up for the whole thing. The Lakers beat Wemby in San Antonio late last night, but they found the way without, Austin Reeves and LeBron, and Doncic was terrific as always, I get, but they won a game.
Well, let's pause and come back. There's some interesting text messages that have come in regarding the Wolves. Get
Sure.
Rosen's response to those. Other topics to get to as well. Here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
Hey, The Fan and 2 Men in a Junk Truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword credit at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is credit. Enter now at KFAN.com. Vikings battle with Baltimore this Sunday at noon. Pregame starts at 10 a.m.
Rosen is guaranteed a victory.
Catch every tackle, every touchdown, every game-changing play right here on KFAN and on the go with the free iHeartRadio app.
Here's a shock. He picked against the Packers.
I don't pick against the Packers very often. They're playing the Eagles.
Well, the Vikings are playing the Ravens. The Ravens were at one time considered the favorite to win in the AFC. They're back on a roll now.
Back on a roll? They haven't really done anything yet.
The Vikings haven't done anything yet either.
What
have they done?
They're about to.
Okay.
You're
a fraud. So,
yes, sir.
Here would be my response to John the mail carrier and any of the others that wonder, how can you work at an all-sports radio station and not watch? And you have to earn my viewership. Don't people feel that way? I mean, for instance, does anybody watch the Twins anymore? You, one of the biggest baseball fans in the world.
I stopped watching last year.
You stopped watching Twins baseball.
Yeah, they lost
I don't want to watch a team not play defense, only play half-court basketball, and only play on the offensive side of the ball. Earn it. I don't watch the Wild. Look at how bad they've been. Win some games. Earn. There's a lot of options out there.
Yeah.
There's the Food Network with the show Chopped.
It's a good show.
There's reruns of Gilligan's Island that Deuce and I watch all the time. We watch a regular show. We watch we watch Rockford Files.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Tonight I'm going to dig into I'm reading my Mitch Albom book, the new one.
I watch paint dry. Yeah. I sort socks. There are things to do.
Of course.
Play well and earn my viewers.
You don't have to watch. There's 82 of these. For the Wolves and the Wild, there's 82 of them. You don't have to watch every game. And I don't disagree with you. You have to earn, that part of it. And I was interested in seeing how the Wolves were going to respond last night, especially with the Edwards playing. And, I got my answer. That's how they responded.
And what do you think of your Thunder now?
Yeah,
they blew a 20-point lead and lost the Trailblazers, and they're only like 8-1 now.
Yeah,
they lost a game.
Crumbling.
No one's going to waste their time watching that club.
121 to 119, they lost. Yeah. How about that? They were down 22 points too.
Yeah. Their first loss of the season.
Without the Chauncey Billups.
Yeah. They were down to they blew a 20-plus point lead.
Yeah.
Is what they did. Sometimes it'll happen in the national basketball.
They gave up 40 points in the fourth quarter, which is, again, highly irregular. I don't think anyone's going to accuse the Oklahoma City of crumbling right now.
A couple of text messages that have arrived at the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line include, enough with giving Dillingham grace. He's flat out not any good in this league. An eighth pick should not take a year and a half to develop.
Well, who's giving him grace? Yeah, I just said I don't think Finch trusts him. And that's not necessarily always true. I think he's still 20 or 21 years old. I mean, I wouldn't say they're going to give up on him, but I just don't know how they're going to utilize him this year. This is not a situation where the Timberwolves are, again, rebuilding mode, and they have an opportunity, like a lot of these younger teams, to watch players develop. They got to win, and they got to win now. I mean, this is what they've gone to two Western Conference Finals. They're not about to. They want to take 2 steps back. And I'm love to give Dillingham. He's got plenty of talent. It just doesn't seem to be fitting, and it doesn't seem to be working real well. And I don't think, like I said, he's earned the trust of Finch, and maybe Finch just won't play him anymore. but he's sporadic at best, both his shooting, his defense, and being able to get his teammates involved.
Kyle from Isanti texts, would you guys agree that the Timberwolves and the Wild are in the same boat because they did nothing to improve their roster in the offseason? I don't know. How many moves did the Wild make, to me?
Not a lot. Vladimir Tarasenko and Nico Sturm.
And what do we call Tarasenko?
Takeover Tarasenko.
Takeover Tarasenko?
Yeah, they opted to. They had some extra money, but let's not just spend it because we have it. Let's wait until we actually find someone who can move the needle a little bit because those guys weren't available.
And the Wolves were up against it in the salary cap.
They didn't have a lot of
and the luxury tax second levels. So
some of those guys are gone. I mean, there's not a lot of room they have, and they're looking for some of the younger. Jalen Clark to take another step. Looking for Dillingham to take another step. Berenger, again, is a project. I still like to see him play more because I think, if nothing else, with his height and his ability to score, that what Gobert really can't do for the most part. Again, the kid's not going to be able to defend real well, but I think in certain cases when they get like even maybe tomorrow night against Utah, if they get a bigger lead, get the kid out there, give him some real playing time. But otherwise, what you see is what you get. I mean, their starting five is going to be that way, and again, I'm concerned about, against the better teams, having a point guard who can really run the offense.
When are you going to realize that Finch is the problem? Do you think Finch is the problem?
No, not necessarily. I don't always agree with the way he uses his rotation, but I don't. I think Chris Finch is a very good coach. I think he's. I mean, you can complain about a lot of little things, but he has taken him to 2 straight Western Conference Finals. I don't know what. He's pushing buttons at times and he says the right things, but sure you can pick apart any coach's decisions, but I don't think I don't know why he's a problem. I mean, there's a lot of teams that like to have the situation the Wolves have been in the last 2 years. So I don't see him as being the overriding problem. I don't think he has many options. Like I said, when you lose 3 guys like that, they got to develop this bench.
Well, they could have tried to develop Josh Minot, but they didn't want to play him, and now he's a star with Boston.
Playing well for him.
We didn't want to develop him here.
I wish he would have had more playing time. I'm not disagreeing with that. I think that was one thing you could say, and Finch was asked about it a ton of times, is, playing more guys. You just talk about OKC. They play 10 guys on a normal night. That's not the case for the Wolves. They usually go with 5, and then they throw in Nas obviously plays 20 minutes a game or more. Conley comes off the bench, Clark comes off the bench, and Dillingham comes off the bench. That's pretty much it.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, question for you guys. Whenever things aren't going the right way, people like to question whether the coach is the right guy or not. It happens in every sport, right?
Sure does.
I'd like to know, how often is the coach actually the problem? Because I'm guessing it's pretty rare, right? Like when a team's struggling, there's usually a lack of talent more than. I'm not trying to say all coaches are the same. There's definitely differences in coaching, especially in football. I think there's more importance on coaching than other sports. Well, but like when a basketball team is struggling, how often is it the coach is not putting them in the right situation? I think that's pretty rare.
I tend to agree, but I will say this. When you and I are underperforming, I do think it's Chad Abbott's fault. I think it's the corner's office.
Well, when have we been underperforming?
Well, that's true. We don't underperform.
It's been a long time since that happened.
I went back there to get a little pep talk, and the first thing he says, he goes, "Hope you finish stronger than you started."
That's
what I got.
That's good coaching.
Yeah,
that's great coaching.
It's motivating.
And I told him I thought we started out terrific, and he said, "You must not have been listening to yourself." How about if you had a boss like that?
How about that?
I'd like to ask the listeners how that would work.
Yeah. How you motivated from that?
The head coach doesn't forget how to coach. That's what he's saying. So he's defending. I guess he's agreeing with you, Tom.
Well, I mean, the games can change and evolve, right? The NBA is different now than it was 10 years ago, so a coach would have to adapt during that time. But I just think people like to point out the coach because it's easy to just pick on one guy as opposed to just realize, well, we just don't have the right talent here.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and if guys aren't working hard, to me, that's not on the coach.
Just take a look at the goose that laid the golden egg over there. I mean, Baldelli. I'm not saying he's the best manager that's ever filled out a lineup card. I don't even think he really did fill it out. I think that was Fallview.
The computers fill it out.
He was the scapegoat. Somebody's got to go, right?
Molitor was before that.
Yeah, exactly. So it does happen. We'll take a break and come back. One more segment to go. It's the Common Man Program with Common Teneby and Mark Rosen right here on the Fan. Jack Lord and Hawaii 5-0. Sort of has a Hawaii 5-0 kind of a vibe to it, especially the beginning of that. Is this called Hawaii 5-0?
A theme song for a television show, doesn't it?
Is it called Hawaii 5-0?
It's called All the Way Downtown.
All the Way Downtown. See it on Netflix.
It does a little Hawaii 5-0 to it.
It's like a car chase right now.
You can stream it on Netflix and binge watch. You see all episodes tonight, one after another. You're getting ripped.
Okay.
Rosie runs guys out of town repeatedly, then he laments how they're excelling elsewhere. See his glowing reference to Sammy Darnold yesterday and now Josh Minot today. Isn't that funny?
I ran Josh Minot out of town.
You couldn't wait for Sam Darnold to be. It was time. You wanted to move on to 9.
No, it's not a question of me wanting to move on to 9. It's a question of what the franchise was going to do all along.
But you were
crying
all
crocodile tears. I couldn't be happier for Sam Darnold. Hope he wins a whole bunch of games this year. He was a class act. No, I mean Josh Minot.
You ran him out of town. And now you love him. Now you think they should have played him more. Yeah. That's funny.
Isn't that interesting how that works out?
Let's
Larry Mondello guy.
Let's take a Leon Musk guy.
Oh, okay.
Leon Musk guy.
Oh,
let's take a couple of phone calls, including this one from Billy. Billy, you're on the Fan. Thanks for calling.
Hey, guys. I was going to say something about the coaching aspect of like all 4 of our teams, and I hate to bring it up, but it goes all the way back to Bud Grant. We've been out-coached in every big game, aside from Tom Kelly having home field in 87 and 91. Every time there's a big game, it seems like the other team has a better coach or they know how to develop their players better. I mean, it's not like we're getting bad players. We get top line players on all teams that we have.
Yep.
I mean, everybody wants our players, so it's not like we're drafting bad or whatever, but it's the player development. And then when it comes time, especially football, the big game, we got out-coached in every championship game.
How old are you,
Billy?
And I'm not wrong. And I'll hang up, guys.
Thanks, Billy, telling it like it is.
Wait, I was going to ask him how old he was.
Billy,
if he talked about the Bud Grant being out-coached, the Vikings were outclassed by every team they played in the Super Bowl.
They got out-coached by Hank Stram, 65 toss power trap.
Yeah.
They just kept running the same play, and Bud couldn't come up with an answer for it.
The Chiefs were a better team.
Well, let me guess. Pittsburgh was a better team.
They were.
Oakland was a better team.
They were.
And
the only
Miami
team,
was a better team.
Pittsburgh was the one game the Vikings had a chance. They'd never led in the Super Bowl. They had a chance in the Pittsburgh game.
The Vikings were 18-point favorients against the Chiefs.
I understand
and
that.
you're saying the Chiefs were a better team.
I'm going by what players on that team told me. That they didn't know. Like much the way the Baltimore Colts didn't know what they're going to run into with the Jets.
Well, they did.
Well,
Namath said, we're going to win. I guarantee it.
But the Colts didn't believe it, did they? They were 17-point favorites.
Maybe the Vikings should have believed it.
Well,
after they saw what the Jets did to the Colts.
Just telling
you're rallying to the defense of Bud. Trapper, your guy.
He can't speak for himself.
Because you love Trapper.
I did. But I would admit he got out-coached at other times, and not that game.
Tenneby's getting ripped, too.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, in professional sports like the NBA, NFL, and MLB, it's common for teams to hire a new head coach while keeping the same players. Examples, NBA, 2015. Stevie Kerr became the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, inheriting most of the same roster from Mark Jackson. They immediately won the championship. NFL in 2020, Stefanski took over the Browns with largely the same core roster from the previous season and led them to the playoffs. MLB in 2018, Alex Cora became the Red Sox manager with the core roster intact from 2017. They won the World Series. Coaching changes often aim to improve performance without major roster overhauls. What do you think of that, Tenna?
One, I didn't say coaching didn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Two, that's the beauty of these discussions. We can always find examples on either side of it, right? I could tell you, look at the Minnesota Wild. Torchetti took over Mike Yo's team, and this coach took over that, and Boudreaux took over, and John Hines took over, and Evison took over, and they've been the same team for the last decade.
Bring back Jock. Bring back Jock.
Let's take another phone.
My point was, players matter more than coaches do, but the fans like to point out the coaching.
Correct. Ingrates. Let's take a phone call from Carl. Carl, I just wanted to say that. Carl, you're on the fan. Thanks for calling.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Yeah. Hey, doing great. This team right now, the Timberwolves, we're playing defense like a box of chocolates. We never know what we're going to get from these guys.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But, Dante said it the other day that, we're just not playing with spirit, and these guys just aren't getting up and guarding guys, and yeah, some of it is coaching in terms of motivation, but, the players got to get out there and start playing every possession like it matters. I mean, you're seeing it more and more in the NBA where these teams are playing every possession like it matters. I mean, Portland is full court pressing entire games, which I don't know if they can keep that up for 82 games, but, God bless them if they can. It's a different game than it used to be, and you got to start guarding.
Yeah.
And we're just not doing it.
And that takes effort. And that's the word that Common talks about a lot, and the team talks about after the game is over, is effort. And if you watched the game last night, and there were many examples where you could isolate some of the things that happened in that game last night where the effort just wasn't there.
Wait. Every Vikings team played a better team in their 4 big game losses. Roller coaster Rosie back at it again.
What do you
Fraud
mean?
father alert.
I'm just telling you what. Go ahead, tell me which that the Vikings were better than which team that they lost.
Well, they should have been better than the Chiefs.
Well, they should have been, but they didn't know what they were getting into.
They had the best defense in pro football for a decade.
Look at how many Hall of Famers that the Kansas City Chiefs had on that football team. And
look at how many Hall of Famers we had on the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm not saying the Vikings shouldn't have played better, but the Miami Dolphins with Zonka and Kick and that defense that they had, they were the best team in football. Oakland Raiders certainly were better than that Vikings team. And even after Fred McNeil blocked Ray Guy's punt, they ended up on the 2-yard line. They should have scored a touchdown there, but they gave the ball to Brent McClanahan instead of Chuck Foreman, and he fumbled, and that was the end of that. The one chance they had to at least take a lead. One of those games. I'm more bitter about the championship losses, NFC championship losses than I am about any of those Super Bowls.
I think the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Steelers, and the Raiders, they were who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. That's what I think.
No, they never got a chance to let them off the hook because the Vikings never led in any of those games. So.
Warren, you're on the fan.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on the free agency this last week and a couple other little things. I think that the Vikings made a big mistake this week when I heard the Jets were offering their starting center, who's only been in the league 2 years and is really good.
Yep.
And I heard a lot of people think that Randall's all this and that, and he's not good wherever he's played on that line. He's always broke down and had some problems, and center is not a good position for him, being that tall. But that being said, the Vikings are the only team in the history of the National Football League to have 2 quarterbacks on the roster the next year. They left because our rookie quarterback, the Vikings, if they didn't have JJ here, I think Jones would have been here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think they're making these big mistakes because
they're making
themselves in the foot.
Yep.
So you're saying?
Well, here's the thing that
they're making mistakes, Mark. No, Warren's spot on.
Well, think about it this way.
Think about it.
I know now that our coach that's here now, doesn't like power football.
No,
and to win a Super Bowl, he said it this week when he was talking about all the teams that were these big teams that were coming in and dominating you. Mm-hmm. He made it sound like that was just nothing I would ever do. The reason why the Vikings lost all the Super Bowls is because the size difference on the offensive line was so good, so much different. They could never run the football.
No, not against those teams.
And we can't run it again this year.
And look at
last week.
Well, they had some offers, and I know for a fact the starting tackle with Pittsburgh. The starting tackle with Pittsburgh is in the second year.
We didn't want
there was a trade offer for the Minnesota Vikings. He's starting for them.
Yep.
What's really hurt this team so deeply is I've always said that you should have 10 offensive linemen that could come in the game
That's
at any time and not have a drop off. The reason they're not able to do that is all the screwed up draft choices they had.
Yep.
It would have been real easy to have a Donald Falalele instead of Ingram here. Everybody thought that
okay.
we're going to draft him.
We could have had Falalele. We could have coached him up.
Falalele is a good football
He's a
player
really
on a good team.
player, yep.
And they could have had five offensive. They could have had 5 offensive linemen that could have contributed and played well.
Or 5 running backs.
First-round draft choices.
They could have had 5 running backs.
Where was Darisaw drafted? And O'Neal, where were they drafted?
They were in the first round, but not by the people. But you got to remember about Darisaw. Well, think about this. Darisaw, since he's been here, every year has been injured.
Yeah,
they signed him to a huge contract. They could have made some moves even.
They could have got
even with well, think about this. His first year he was injured.
Tis the season.
I'll say this to you right now.
Okay,
you guys have been saying that the Vikings these guys are healthy. These guys are not healthy.
No, they're
That's
beat
the
up.
problem.
Yeah.
What guys?
Darisaw is not.
He's not supposed to be healthy. He's coming off an ACL injury.
Coming off injuries.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's one of the best left tackles in the game. I mean,
but you got to remember,
you should have 20 offensive linemen.
All it's going to take with him when you don't bring a guy out that can't play the whole game.
Have defensive linemen who can play the offensive line as well. Play both sides of the ball. That's what I used to do.
Look at O'Neal. Well, look what happened with O'Neal.
All right, Warren,
they brought him back in. Okay,
we got to go. Thanks.
My head hurts.
What do you mean? He's spot on.
Gives me a migraine.
All these years later, and Rosen is still defending Bud. The caller was right. All the coaches in Minnesota history have been outclassed, with the exception of the way Common coached that Coon Rapids Little League team with his nephews. Assuming you were never outcoached. That's right, because we won 2 division titles when
Can't
I was
argue
there
with that.
as the third base coach, pitching coach.
I
used to throw batting practice. You know, the kids got so good, I used to throw them the thumb ball. That was my
thumb ball?
You put the ball between your thumb and your pointer finger,
right,
and then you throw it and spin it, and you get the thumb.
Like a knuckleball?
It's sort of like getting top spin.
Never heard that term before.
The kids lined up because I said none of you will be able to hit the thumb ball, and they ran.
Used to do that in wiffle ball.
I inspired them to want to practice. It was just a trick I used, the thumb ball.
The thumb ball, okay.
None of you can hit it. I challenged them, and they all went up there, and they all became better hitters.
Maybe we should put on a Fort Myers and teach that to the Twins pitching staff.
They need some help. We know that.
Thumb ball.
Thumb ball for crying
revolutionary.
out loud. It was a revolutionary call. Oli Udo is available. Someone is texting. Warren wanted to keep him.
Oh, Warren, God bless you.
Why the Wills have not hired Warren to run the franchise is going to be an ESPN 30 for 30. You remember yesterday I said they should do a 30 for 30 on Meat Sauce's comedy career?
Yeah.
Because of his blue humor, it should be 30 for dirty. Or would it be dirty for 30? Some text messenger sent that late in the show, and I had to wedge it in there. Yeah, dirty. Because he's dirty for 30. He does about 30 minutes, and he's dirty for 30.
Meat Sauce.
He just rambles incoherently. You know, somebody wanted to nominate him for a PSA. I was wrong. He didn't get booed off the stage at the Mud Room. He was booed off the stage at River Oaks Golf Course.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
No, I really don't believe that.
Well,
he really was booed off the stage. That's humiliating.
And it was at the Mud Room where the woman was heckling him because he was talking about wearing Lululemon.
Oh, that's his favorite.
Yeah. And I think the problem is I think Lululemon is that kind of pricey.
Well,
she thought he was
men's
bragging.
And women's wear.
I think she thought he was bragging about I can afford Lululemon. So she was bitter about it. Have you ever gone to Target looking for a pair of athletic socks and come home with Blu-ray Home Alone 2 on Blu-ray DVD?
Haven't heard that one before. I have. No, I haven't. I think I owned that movie for quite a while.
But somebody nominated Meat Sauce for Preposterous Statement. He said
What's that?
yesterday at 6:28, he said, flamingos can't fly. So then the emailer said, well, I had to check. And he says, not only he goes, not only they can fly, but they can fly up to like 40 miles per hour. They're like one of the.
I always love that one.
That was one of those random things that came up on the show?
Yeah, he just came up and he goes, flamingos can't fly. And apparently, there's no bird that flies better except pterodactyls.
I can hear Meat Sauce saying that, too.
Ah.
Oh, my.
He didn't even know the flamingo was an animal. He just thought it was the hotel in Vegas.
Wait, hold on. Is it true that if you put a flamingo out in front of your house, it means you're a swinger? Have you heard that?
I have not.
Huh?
Is that? I have never heard that. I guess I'm not keeping up with my...
I'm being serious.
I was wondering why my wife wanted to put a flamingo out on the front step.
wow.
No, that makes sense.
No, I'm being serious.
I've not heard that.
Never
Here's
heard
what
that.
Is it like a code thing, or is this like publicly
code.
known that everyone knows?
Knock on the
No,
door
I think it's
and-
code. It's code. Let me see. Is a flamingo in your front yard?
Oh, my God.
Watch this. Front yard suggesting anything.
Well, you find
Oh.
what are you finding out?
No, it just says often placed for birthdays, anniversaries, or as a friendly joke to spread joy and positivity. Well, no wonder that people will slam the door in my face when because I knocked on the door and I said, and we were swinging.
You come up with those.
Well, that's what I
I've never
thought.
heard that old one. I can't remember the last time you saw a flamingo for any reason in the front yard of somebody's front yard.
So I just Googled what do swingers put on their front porch.
What did it say?
Well, it says, well, this is just AI, which AI is not always correct. Upside down pineapple. Pink plastic flamingos.
Yeah, see?
Oh!
See?
You got
Garden gnome, when strategically placed, can also be a signal to other swingers.
Garden. No.
Or white rocks.
White-
An arrangement of white rocks in the front yard.
An upside down pineapple? I had not heard that one. I'd heard the flamingo one before.
So people actually follow up on that, and
I guess it's just you're just letting people know, hey, if you're
interested,
yeah, if you want to do
yeah.
a little swapping.
right? Interesting.
I did not know about the pineapples.
You find something out every day here.
This text messenger says, if you have a flamingo wearing a Twins jersey in your front yard, it means you're a fan of swinging and missing. Swinging and missing.
That's actually a very good line.
Yeah.
I always love
Who
that
do you think
one.
wrote that?
Larry Mondello guy.
No.
Maury Amsterdam.
Maury
Amsterdam. Yeah. It's very good, too.
That's one of the best ones he's had.
Well, and
very good.
I'm going to add that to my Flop, Sweat, and Tears tour.
He's on his game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming down the stretch here.
Movie Swingers, by the way, great movie.
Oh,
How
one of my
about-
favorites.
How about if
So good,
Phoenix
Vince
gets a
Vaughn.
hockey team, call yourselves the Phoenix Flamingos?
I like it.
Yeah. Actually, a really good nickname.
It is a
We
Can't
could use
believe
a team with
there's
all
not a-
pink.
Yeah.
Can't believe there's not a minor league baseball team with that name.
Yeah, and
Flamingos.
the Flamingos.
Probably
and you
is.
could have Pink
Probably.
sing the national anthem at the opening game.
There you go.
Yeah. Be all good with me. Anything else?
And you could have a real live flamingo as your mascot because it won't fly around the rink. It'll just be on.
Yes,
It'll just be standing there the whole time.
Standing there on one leg the whole time. Well, apparently they fly 40 miles per hour.
Well, the funny thing, too, is like there actually is a hockey term. Like when you go out to block a shot
Yeah.
and you're scared of getting hit by the shot and you kind of like raise one leg in the air, they call that.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I-
You get made fun of for not, willing to sacrifice your
Yeah,
body.
well, you take a hockey puck to the ankle one time.
man.
a slap
That's not
shot.
fun, but
Yeah.
you got to be a tough guy in that sport.
I guess you do. You have to. I'll let my teammate go ahead and take one for the team, not
Got
me.
that right, man. No, that's why. I mean, the Gophers are off this weekend, the football team, and the big game on Saturday we've talked about as far as college football goes, Oregon at Iowa. And then, of course, it all leads to the Vikings against the Ravens at noon.
10 seconds of silence while Common researches secret signs of swingers. How does Joe from Bach not love this show? How does he not love this show? Especially in Bach, where they have a strip club.
In where?
They have a gentleman's club. We call it a gentleman's club.
Yeah, a gentleman's club now.
Yeah, it's a gentleman's in Bach, Minnesota. He sent a voicemail that was transcribed by Swedberg for me that says he loves Paul Allen, thinks he's terrific at what he does. He can't understand the Common Man show.
Okay.
He's never been entertained by it, and he said if he was that unentertaining, he would just read a book instead. When I recommended Being the Common Man, the best of the lousiest, the lousiest, the best, and he could order that.
Yeah.
I sold them out. I do have a handful. I save them for special occasions like Joe from Bach.
Right. From Bach.
From Bach, Minnesota.
All right.
It is Thursday, so you're picking the Vikings to win,
I am
right?
picking the Vikings to win.
Very good.
It's going to be a very festive afternoon.
A rout? Would they stop it if it's a fight, or do they be close?
No. They'll keep it.
How do they win? Do they win late? Does 9 drive them for the winning score?
9.
Or do the Ravens turn the ball over late?
No, Will the Thrill kicks a field goal. Vikings win by 3.
Very good. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Next week.
2
Enjoy
o'clock.
your weekend.
Tenneby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We enjoyed our visit with you today. We will we'll talk to you tomorrow at 12. And, by the way, you said it's Parker Fox and Meat Sauce for a program.
They'll be here tomorrow, yeah.
And we'll be at 1 o'clock. We'll see you tomorrow. Big Ticket and JG are next.
And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.